funny, just elevator music in the background.
Thing is, like, I don't know if I can get it quiet enough without it overpowering you. Let's see. See, that's still pretty loud. The mixer on.
Can't you just turn it down even more? Or, I mean, like really, really back.
Well, see, I'm doing it through Epidemic Sound, so I don't get copyright strikes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, we are live. Welcome to Shockwave, guys. Well, we're gonna turn off the music for now. It's been what, 2 weeks? I guess it's been like 2 weeks on the nose.
Weeks? Wait,
since we've
did we not do it last week?
No, we didn't. So because we were planning on doing it. Remember, we were planning on doing it.
Man. This is like, my memory for you.
Like, remember, because I canceled last week's, and then it turns out last week didn't work for you either. We were like, hey, fantastic, and then I was like, why don't we do Tuesday? And then Tuesday didn't work for you, and now we're back on Thursday again, and voila, it's 2 weeks. Hey guys, yes, I have FaceCam now. Luke couldn't get his shit together, so you'll have to settle. We're gradually introducing faces. It's how we're approaching this.
Buy a new webcam or something.
No worries. Don't go out and blow all your money on a new webcam. You've already got a pretty good camera as it is, G7X. It's just shitty that it can't. It's a point and shoot.
I should just try and record the whole podcast beforehand, and then just voice over the whole video.
Voice over. If we can just replicate it exactly. No, how you doing, man? What's been going on with you?
Not bad, really. I mean, my life, as you pretty much know, it's just very same old at the minute. But I mean, things seem to be going well for you with your new position.
Yeah, so I had
didn't we?
So the first shift I had yesterday was like a shadow shift, air quotes, except one staff couldn't make it in because they were sick. So I had to step in as like an actual staff, which I don't mind doing. I mean, I'm being paid to be there, so I may as well do some work. But yeah, it's a different house than I'm normally used to. It's a bit more like institutional feeling because it was built to be a group home. But the staff are pretty nice. The supervisor's amazing. I've worked under her before. And yeah, honestly, if ever I have like bad days, I'm just going to remind myself that it's like a 15-minute commute on a bike, and I'll be in a good mood again instantly, because not having to spend an hour on the bus makes such a difference.
Is it still really? What's the weather like out there in a minute when you're on your bike?
The weather. Well, it's still pretty cold here. There's still snow. It's unusually warm for this time of year here in Ottawa. Like yesterday, it was raining and it was a couple degrees above freezing, which is bizarre for March. Usually things start to get rainy and melty around the end of March. But we've had a melt all through the end of February. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You know what I want to do is I want to actually put up a window capture of the live chat so you guys can see yourselves too. But Boba, why don't you take over for a moment? Tell us how your weekend was.
What did I do this weekend? I actually didn't even really do much. Honestly, I'm looking forward to going to see Logan tonight. We briefly discussed on the podcast all the movies we're looking forward to a couple of weeks ago. And I just can't wait because I love Hugh Jackman. I'm absolutely gutted that he's leaving the role. But he did say he might come back if they ever put it back into the Avengers universe. So
yeah.
I'll be going to see that tonight.
What are you expecting? What are you expecting for it?
Just like, apparently it's a lot more adult themed, like Deadpool. There's a lot more swearing in it and stuff you would never find in a Marvel Avengers, mainstream film, because they sort of said to Hugh Jackman, like, since this is your last film, you can do really what you want. Same with Patrick Stewart, really. Apparently he's got quite a bit to say in it. So I don't know, just the action, I guess.
Yeah,
but the only thing that does annoy me, yet again, it's set in a completely different universe.
Yeah,
which is really annoying.
Yeah, so I guess hopefully cool. Are they going to give some good context before the movie starts? I hope, like, so you can wrap your head around.
I think so. I
and
mean,
stuff.
it's set. I think it's set when Wolverine, his healing factor. If he gets shot, it just like instantly closes. It's like completely diminished now. So I think mutants have been, hunted by the government, and it's sort of in the dystopian kind of future where, yeah, it's just like what if all the world went to shit basically, and
So
there's
wait,
this
so he
one
does
mutant left.
he doesn't heal? What? No, he
He
does
sort
heal.
he half-assed heals basically.
Oh,
If he gets
okay.
shot, he could like be stuffed. I think it
So
heals
kind of
just a
like
lot slower basically.
so he can't like get shot in the head like he usually can.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think so. At least, yeah, I
Weird.
don't think so.
Yeah,
But
I'm
there
not
is
even.
one mutant left, and she's a little crazy ass miniature Wolverine who's like, I don't know,
Right.
she looks like 10 years old.
How did she? Is she going to be related to him in any way? Like, how do they explain the fact that she can do all the
I
same
have
things he can?
That is the question. I have no idea.
I guess they have to leave some
But
things
either
to
way,
mystery, right?
yeah. I mean, at the
Hmm.
same time, though, just like with all media at the minute, they've shown so much, almost too much, with trailers and clips and everything like that.
Well, they did make the trail. They made a pretty good trailer. They're making really good trailers these days, and like making a trailer is almost as artful as making a movie itself. The
Mm,
action scenes look pretty great, and I
yeah.
mean, he's more beast mode than ever. If you look at the pictures of huge jacked man, he's so much bigger and more ripped than he ever was. Like what in 2001 or 2002. You look at him then,
Yeah.
he's just like a fit dude, like you'd see in like the old Spartacus movies. And then now he's so swollen. It's ridiculous. The guy's like what? He's like
Mm,
is he 50 almost? He must be
I
50.
think so. He must be. He must be. I know
Let
that
me look at.
recently though, he's got this thing on his nose, because he's had like I think a bit of like skin cancer that's luckily been removed again, but it's like the third or fourth time he's had it.
Huh.
But he's just got this like massive patch on his nose where I guess he's like had a skin graft or something.
Okay, he's 48. But okay, well he could just embrace like the nose deformity like Owen Wilson embraces his messed up nose. That guy's got a pretty fucked up nose. You got to roll with what you're given, I guess. No, that should be
Have you
fun.
ever heard of the Graham Norton show?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I watch. I've never watched the show in its entirety, but I've watched clips of celebrities on there. Looks like fun.
Yeah, him,
Don't they
him and
drink on that
Patrick
show?
Stewart are on it. Huh?
Don't they
Yeah,
like
I think they
drink on?
do. I think they do. Yeah.
I feel like they drink on most European talk shows, even like just
It
openly.
was hilarious recently though. I'll have to send you a link sometime. But Patrick Stewart explains on this whole clip, segment like the ones you've seen before, how for his whole life he didn't realize he wasn't circumcised. And his wife pointed it out, and it's like, no, you're not. And he was just like, I think I would know, like, and he happened to have a doctor's appointment the next day, and he was like,
What?
nope. So it's just like, how do you muck that up? Like, how do you not
What,
realize
what
that?
does he just with that? I mean, okay, we're going here anyway. Does he have just a really tiny foreskin? Like,
I don't know. Maybe,
how
I
do you?
mean, he must have had the procedure done when he was a kid, like, but maybe they just didn't cut enough off or something. I don't know, but
He was under circumcised.
yeah, it's just hilarious. So you have to
Better to
see the
be
clip. But
better to
there's
be
a lot more
half done
context.
than I'd say better to be half done than overdone.
Mm. But it was just hilarious the way he explained it. Hugh Jackman just sat there and he was just like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, at the end of it, I've got grandchildren who watch this show, So,
Patrick
but
Stewart
it's just
explaining
imagine living
most
your life a
things.
lie like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's not the worst lie to live. It's a bit minor, but
Oh, somebody said, "Have you seen 50 Shades Darker?" No, I haven't even seen 50 Shades of Grey.
well, I watched 50 Shades of Grey years ago when it first came out. I didn't see it in theaters, I'm not going to spend money on it. I did watch it on Netflix when it came out with Emily. It was
Was
okay.
it
It's not
actually
for
like
me.
generally good or not?
No, no, no. It wasn't a good movie. It was a good. It was an. It was a. I'm not. I'm trying to figure out where it belongs as far as like the usefulness of this movie. Like there are movies that will like um that'll like put you to bed. They'll put you in a good mood to go to sleep. There are movies that'll like get you going, and then you go out and like go play some paintball after because you just watched like Saving Private Ryan or some amazing war movie. This movie's like, I don't know if it has a place. It's I don't even think it's good enough to get you laid.
Makes you want to go out on the prowl.
It kind of makes me just want to like shut my door and
yeah. Well, I've never seen it. I was sure it's just one of those films like Twilight, where I mean, Twilight, I guess they made some sort of storyline out of, but it was just one of those books that women, I guess, bigged up so much, and they could turn it.
Yeah. So having never read the 50 Shades books, and there's I guess several of them, the main pull is basically pornographic, right? But they have to market the movie to a wider audience, especially like teenagers and stuff whose parents and stuff won't take them to like X-rated movies and R-rated movies and shit. So I feel like they had to sacrifice a lot of what the actual book was about. Like many book to movies, I think a lot of people were probably like hoping for more penis and they didn't get it. Okay, it is what it is. No, I haven't seen 50 Shades Darker. It looks, I don't know. I don't think
What's the premise of it? Is like, what even happened in the first film, and like what's the continuity here?
So I'll give you the summary of the first film, and I don't give a shit about spoiler alerts because I don't care about the movie, guys. Basically, this like kind of young, timid girl meets this mogul who's like super powerful and dominant, and then they get into this relationship, and he's like, if we're going to do this relationship, you will be submissive to me, and they hammer out the contract. They hammer out a contract of dominance and submissiveness, which is, super romantic, I know. And they agree to like what things they'll do, what things they are not agreeing to. And then he basically introduces her to his sex dungeon, and they get crazy, all sorts. And then they have the montage where they're like, she's like, I don't know if this is for me, but I really like you, but I don't know if I can do this. And he's like, well, I have other women. And then in the end, he's like, but I really like you. I think I can make an exception for you. And then it ends like on kind of a cliffhanger where you don't know what's going to happen between them. And then you're just sitting there like with your dick in your hand, like, okay, I guess I'm just going to go to bed now. So I think the continuation is just them picking up where they left off and going crazy again.
Maybe
I'm sure there's plot complications and with more people and many climaxes. I don't know, Luke. I don't care. I don't care, Luke.
I want to see it now.
You want to see it? That
was a good summary.
There's some really good. You know what I like even more though than the 50 Shades of Grey movie is the spoof where it's like 50 Shades of Gandalf the Grey. Have you seen those?
I don't think I have, but already I like the idea of it.
So you've seen the Lord of the Rings, of course.
Yeah.
They take all those moments from Gandalf the Grey where he's giving the hobbits and people like these pensive looks, right? Or like where he's like or where he's on his back gasping because he just fought, or he's like sweating and like just really intense, and they like insert it perfectly into the moments between like Anastasia looking at him, or like it's like an intense voiceover, and just like, oh, they time it so perfectly. It's amazing. That's amazing.
That reminds me of the recent Beauty and the Voldemort. Have you seen that?
No. Oh, the internet is such a wonderful place.
It's the fully fledged sort of trailer for that new Beauty and the Beast film with Emma Watson, but they make Voldemort like, you know, the Beast, and it's just done like the way you described it, and it's hilarious. Definitely have to show that to you. Oh,
it's definitely a genre now then. Like definitely a genre, like how Tiny Town was a genre.
It's got some weird continuity to it because, you know, obviously it's got Emma Watson in it as well, so it's just like, you know, if Voldemort wants this, you know, he's sort of turned away from everybody and he's still there and he's sort of like getting redeemed. It's really weird.
I'll have to definitely link me that after. I'm trying to think about the other movies we talked about that are coming out soon. Oh, I saw John Wick Chapter 2.
I haven't even seen the first one.
Okay, so watch the first one. Second one, like, I don't know like how to compare it. I want to say it's like even better action wise. Of course, nothing's really novel, but it still delivers as far as being like the action-packed headshot movie that you expect with Neo. And
Yeah, I love the main actor guy.
yeah,
Chris,
the
I can't
scripting
remember
the
his name.
scripting leaves a lot to be desired, and the plot's like but the action sequences are great. There's like lots of little one-liners that are really funny. It just kind of makes the movie really enjoyable. I went to see it with a buddy, and he never saw the first one. Okay, it is the kind of movie that you don't really need to see the first one to go see. I'll say this much.
Okay.
It's a movie that can stand on its own because they kind of they mention things and explain things kind of near the beginning of the movie, so you can kind of catch up really quickly. And the first movie really didn't have much plot anyway. I can summarize the first movie for you in less than 30 seconds. So John Wick, his wife has just died, and a few days after his wife died, it's his birthday. His wife sets up a puppy to be delivered to him on his birthday, so he's not going to be lonely. So then he starts bonding with his puppy, and then these guys want his car, but he's not going to sell it to them. So they break into his house, they beat the shit out of him, they steal his car, and they kill his dog. And then the rest of the movie is him just on a rampage, trying to get to them and kill them. That's it.
Or what's his backstory? Like, what? How is he so bad?
He's an assassin. He's like the most lethal assassin ever, and all the assassins are like, oh my god, this is the best assassin, and his nickname is Baba Yaga, or the Boogeyman. So, but they keep alluding that he's the guy you sent to kill the Boogeyman. So you're like, oh man, he's good. But he's just like military prowess at its peak, and like he's just like it's not a an action movie that is like that has action scenes that are spectacularly unrealistic, and like people aren't jumping 20 feet across chasms, and he doesn't punch a guy and the guy goes flying. It's just like raw action, and the action scenes are filmed really well. They're wide angle action scenes, so you see everything happening. It's not shaky cam, right? And Keanu Reeves had to do a lot of military training to pull this part off, and he's 52, so kudos to him.
Wow, is
but
he
like
52 now?
Yeah, he's 52. Jeez. So, but like the just the way they like synced up, like headshot to headshot to headshot, it's beautiful. So it's a firearms masterpiece, is what I'd say. So, you know the movie. Sorry, I keep having to scratch my nose. I don't know why, guys. I'm not picking it, I swear. You know the movie Wanted, where they like bend that bullet and shit. It was with Angelina Jolie and the guy who plays the young Xavier.
No, I haven't seen
Anyway, that was an assassin movie as well, but it was pretty unrealistic because they like taught the guy how to like curve bullets and stuff. It puts like movies like that to shame, basically.
Really?
I would really encourage you
as well.
I would really, James McAvoy. I would really encourage you to go see. Well, watch John Wick on Netflix. Well, it's free, and if you like that, you'll definitely like the second one. It's, okay, enough said. Yeah,
I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, Boogeyman is a menacing name.
Yeah,
well, someone was counting down the seconds.
Definitely doesn't look 52 years old to me.
No, he
didn't realize he was that old when he was making The Matrix.
Yeah, he was 30 something. Yeah, he was 30-ish, early 30s. Yeah, I mean, you go back. Well, I mean, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He was 20 or so, and that was late 80s. That was 88.
Blimey.
So he's like 24 years older than me. Yeah. Okay, so he was maybe 24 then. Yeah. Okay, so he was mid 30s. I'm trying to do the math in my head now. Sorry, guys, I'm not a mathematician. I'm trying to crunch the numbers. He was mid 30s when he did The Matrix. Yeah. Mythbusters busted that bullet curving myth. That was a fun episode. Rest in peace, Mythbusters. Have you seen the new White Rabbit show that 3 of the Mythbusters the guys are doing on Netflix?
Not me. No, I've never really watched Mythbusters.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a sciencey show. You know what it's about, though, right?
Just debunking stuff, right?
Yeah, they basically take like Hollywood like exaggerations and hyperbole and stuff, and they show it to be
Mm.
such. Yeah, it's a cool show. But like the three younger people went off to do Netflix stuff. Yeah. Ah, Mythbusters went for a good long run. I think they did like over 10 seasons. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
3 people watching now. Where have they gone?
It's weird. I had more people watching yesterday when I was just live streaming on my phone. That was the first time
Oh,
I live
really?
streamed on my phone. Yeah, because I have a new phone now, so I can actually have a decent face cam.
All right.
And I was just or was it Tuesday? No, it was Tuesday after you canceled. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna live stream on my phone because why the hell not? And it was good.
How many people were watching?
Uh, peaked at like 28, and average was like
Wow.
15 to 20,
That's cool.
which is cool, but not great for the size of my channel. But you know, my peeps are inactive, so it's all
Yeah.
good. Oh, my nose is so itchy. Fucking dry weather.
He's
Ah,
picking his nose.
I'm not picking my nose. Uh, no, it's. I'm really looking forward to warmer weather. Honestly, I
Do you prefer summer over winter then?
100%, 100%. Just because I'm Canadian doesn't mean I love winter all year long. And it sucks without a car. You know, I can't just like go snowboarding whenever I want. So
Mm.
I'm kind of at the mercy of the weather a lot of the time. But now that I'm going to the gym regularly, and I joined a gym that's near my place, I'm less pent up, you could say. But yeah,
You
summer will be
getting
great.
you getting those gains.
I'm trying to get those gains. It's eh, eh, it's flexing. It's a work in
For me, it's
progress.
so delayed. It's so delayed because I've got the video muted, so you're only just doing it now.
Okay, so I mean it's not that long of a delay. It's like 10 seconds. That's pretty good.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I'm looking for. It just feels good to like be active regularly, and um, went for a run the other day too. I know I've got a lot more free time on my hands, and I feel like I've been wanting to put it more towards self improvement. So
Mm.
yeah, been thinking more just about like who I want to be, what I want to do out of life. I read an interesting quote. Was it like Socrates or someone? It was some Greek philosopher who said something like, um, "It's a shame. It's shameful when a man should go through life not realizing the not realizing the the um, the amazing health, what his body is really capable of." I'm not doing it justice. I have to look it up. Quote.
Well, I don't think anybody gets at like 15 or 30 minutes. I mean, some people do, but of exercise a day that they recommend you get.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's all sorts of recommendations. I mean, people recommend you lift and do cardio, and I guess it's a
Mm.
matter of prioritizing, right? Let's see. Search for Socrates. I got to find this quote because it was a really good quote, and now my internet's not wanting to search very quickly. I know I have to go look it up. But yeah, no. Do you run sometimes, eh?
Yeah, I'm trying to at the minute anyway. At least I'm doing this like sort of couch to 5 kilometers, so it's like expecting you to have not done anything, and it's actually really, really interesting compared to what I've tried before. You know, like how you're meant to like warm up first for at least 5 minutes makes such a huge difference from where like I've done it before, and you can get like really lightheaded. It just shows how inexperienced I was before. You know,
Yeah,
because there's
your body's such a machine that requires like so much tuning and conditioning. You know,
yeah,
like
because I just
like
started running straight off the bat, and I felt so lightheaded. This was ages ago, and it really put me off it. And then I just did this new app on my phone. I was just like, okay, it's like so walk for 5 minutes before, and then
mhm.
it's like run for like a minute and a
Yeah,
half, and then walk for a minute, and then you just gradually train yourself up. I was like, that's
right.
amazing.
Exactly. there's also this huge disparity I've noticed between what what you visibly how someone like you take two people who look visibly identical, but with certain training, one person is like so capable of so much more
Mm.
when push comes to shove than the other person, even though they look just about the same, um, which is incredible. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're fit, you do look better. But let's say like someone who's like a runner, like an avid runner, and someone who doesn't run but is
Mm.
like the same kind of like body weight and stuff. If they're just wearing
Yeah,
normal
because
clothes, you wouldn't know.
with cardio, that's the thing about running. It's like apart from that, it will make you really fit. I guess it will give you some sort of muscle tone, but like it would just burn off your fat. But there's no muscle build up there, is there?
Not
Apart from
really.
your legs,
Well,
maybe.
your muscles, your leg muscles will develop a bit if they're not
Yeah.
already. Your upper body not so much. You'll get a pretty strong core though too. Like running is really good for your
Yeah.
back, right? For example, here it is. Okay, Socrates said, "No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable."
Hmm. There's just so many people out there these days just don't make that step. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I think everyone is just like, I guess, especially if you have a proper career as well, and you go out there and then you get back from work, it's like gym. Oh, I cannot be asked with that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, and there's well,
I still struggle sometimes to run.
motivation is a huge factor too. Like if you're in a place where you're pretty content, and you don't feel like you need to get better or progress, you don't
Mm.
have that motivation, um, and not everyone has that same motivation. You have at one end, the extreme end, where you have these bodybuilders who are willing to go to unhealthy lengths
Yeah.
to be what they are, and then you have people at the other end who won't won't even like won't even take the stairs down from their third floor apartment. So
Mm.
it's it's a
It's really good for
huge
mental health, though.
spectrum.
Like
Absolutely.
getting
Well, your
physical and
body,
stuff.
your mind is of like your brain and your mind, from what we know so far, is a physical part of your body, right? Um,
Yeah.
from what we know, your mind is physical, is like it's a manifestation of the physical. Like you can't escape the physical. You can't completely separate the mind from the body. I'm no guru, I haven't climbed Mount Everest and attempted to like meditate with the monks in Nepal and yada yada yada. But
Hmm.
physical health, they'll even tell you, physical health's very important.
Mm.
Dalai Lama. Yeah, physical
I'd
health.
definitely be up for meditating with some monks in the mountains, Batman
It's a
style.
I mean, at the very least, you can say you did it. I mean, that's cool as hell. I mean, you see
Well,
even
you need to see Doctor Strange.
oh, I
That's
really need to
exactly
see
how that
Doctor
starts.
Strange. I need to go see it. Um, but yeah, you consider like even esports teams, they have like mandatory physical exercise together because they realize
Yeah,
the
this is
importance
what I
of
don't
it.
understand. Like, people who do like, I don't know, yeah, those gaming competitions, how do they not get royally fucked RSI, injuries, like repetitive strain injuries in their hands? Because I've learned, I mean, I don't know still what's going on with my hands. Like, it's really bad, but it is some sort of weird progressive thing. But God, I can't even begin to imagine. I mean, I can imagine now actually. Just playing too many games, it can just destroy your like. Surely it would, like if you did
Yeah,
League of Legends that much or something.
no, I can imagine. Oh, I'm sure it happens a lot. Like I know of many esports gamers who have had to take months off just for like the tendons in their forearms to give
Yeah,
they've developed almost tennis elbow just from playing
yeah.
like so many, kind of funny, just from playing so much, and they couldn't even like they're not allowed to even sit at a computer and use the mouse for months, which must drive them
Mm,
insane, or they have to learn
mm.
to use it,
Like,
or learn to go left-handed, right?
yeah, that's the thing. Like that might be happening with me, but it's just like, oh man, but it's just like I need to do this for like work as
Have
well, and it's just,
Yeah, have you tried like my cousin? I mean, this has been around for like decades, but have you tried like that big bulky mouse with the ball where your hands like turned sideways?
um, I've got a massive ergonomic mouse, not the one with the ball though. Um, Because I know what you mean. It's like, yeah, you use the ball to move the mouse around, but I just can imagine that's a nightmare for editing. But
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
like,
you learn to get better at it though. I mean, I had a cousin
yeah.
who played Battlefield with that mouse, and he killed it.
Oh my God.
It's just a matter
That's
of
insane.
conditioning and learning your learning. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, but I sat down at his this was like ages ago, but I sat down at his computer and like he's like, "You want to play some Battlefield?" I'm like, "Totally, I'm down." And I sit down, I look at the mouse, I'm like, "What the hell is this?" You
Yeah.
expect me to shoot people with this? Eventually, it was great for flying jets and stuff. I didn't quite get the hang
Mm.
of it for shooting anything, but
Yeah,
it
I
did
don't know
feel good.
how,
It did
like,
feel good in my hands.
what do you use the ball, like, what fingers do you use the ball with to
So you
rotate
use
things?
you still use your index finger for the ball, and your hand is almost sitting vertically instead of horizontally, so you don't have that twisting. Um,
Mm.
you don't have to twist your arm like unnaturally. So your hand's in like a nice neutral position, and then you click with your thumb and like your middle finger.
Okay.
So your ring finger and pinky finger are just sitting there, so they don't have to strain too much. So it's just those top three fingers that are doing things like normal. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, you move the mouse with your index. It's interesting. It's a different approach. Uh,
Mm.
Not sure how if they really make them much anymore. I haven't seen them used too much. I know conventional like gaming mice and stuff are just much more popular because that's just kind
Mm.
of the go-to. It's a common
Let's
denominator.
see what the cons are saying. Companies nowadays do health and wellness activities.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, Francis. Like I know a lot of tech companies in like California and stuff will have they have recreational areas. Um, and I think it's as much to stimulate the body as it is to stimulate the mind. But I know companies that care about their employees do care about their physical health. Isn't it in Japan where they start every like they have like Tai Chi in the like at lunch or something?
No idea.
I know some Japanese companies like tech companies they have like office companies they have breaks where they do Tai Chi or yoga and stuff. And
Mm.
I swear this is a thing. Maybe I just saw it on The Office.
It does seem, I mean, it's a lot more cultural out there than where probably me and
Yeah.
you live, so I think it is a lot more normal to do that, yeah. I've been watching a new
I'm
TV show recently that is incredible, and it just reminded me of that. It's called The Man in the High Castle. You
I've never
heard of
seen it.
that?
No. Tell us about it
It's
though,
it's
Luke.
a it is about it's set in the 1960s, but if Japan and Germany basically both kind of won the war and signed sort of a treaty to own, the America. Um, so like you got like half the country is like Japanese, and then half the other country is like Nazi territory. So
Hmm.
it's just so surreal. And there's these like films around. There's a resistance, but there's these films like that show the alternative history of like what we won, obviously. So I don't know if there's a weird. I don't think it's like a supernatural element, but it is really spooky. Like, but it's seriously interesting.
That
I
sounds
definitely
cool.
recommend to check it out.
Alternative history is an interesting genre, or is it fictional? Like fictional alternative history. I had a friend who's I have a friend who's a history buff and used to read alternative history books all the time. Um,
Mm.
Seemed like a good read if you're into history stuff like that. Of course, if it's a TV show, it's a bit easier to digest.
Yeah, yeah.
But can you imagine being like a kid or someone who's not exposed to a lot of history and then not being told that that's fictitious and watching it
Mm.
or reading it?
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
is this what it used to be like in 1960, like Japan and like Nazis in America?
How did we get where we are now?
Yeah,
Mm.
it is really cool though, just seeing what it'd be like if Hitler was still around and stuff like that back then.
Would he have made it to Canada, I wonder?
I don't
I
think
don't
there
know.
is much like news. I mean, that's what I've been interested about, Europe and stuff like that. But it's like I have no idea as to what it went on. I mean, I assume they have some kind of control over there, obviously, but
Hmm.
probably.
Alternative history, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Kind of, yeah, kind of. Although it's more like contemporary history. Planet of the Apes is like alternative future, but I guess a lot of sci-fi is alternative future.
Mm.
What would Star Trek be? Would that be potential future, fictional
I would
future?
say that's like I'd say it's potential future, really. I mean,
I'd say it's partly potential. I mean, a lot of the stuff is just sciencey gobbledygook.
yeah.
I don't know if
I
we'll
mean,
ever
it's
get
just
to.
like yeah, like space travel, going out there, trying to find planets like ours. I mean, yeah, as you're about to say, like I don't know if we'll ever get to that point, but in theory, I mean, we have rockets that can go into space, and if we can somehow make a new way of like better fuel and stuff like that, you could in theory have your own little Star Trek. What do
So
they call it? The
so
Enterprise.
yeah, the Enterprise. So there were lots of enterprises. The two things I had most. Okay, well I'll start this way. So there's all sorts of crazy stuff that they introduce and that they theorize and just invent in Star Trek. I can swallow a
Yeah.
lot of it, like even teleportation. They have some pretty interesting explanations. But there's two things that I always had trouble digesting, and one was how they eliminated poverty completely on planet Earth, like eliminated poverty and and inequality, and everything was like it was like a utopia on planet
Is that
Earth.
the traditional like futuristic Earth where it's like anybody who lives there is really rich, and the other planets are like the poverty planets, really middle
Not
class
even it
planets?
kind of. I don't know, and they didn't really go into like their colony. I don't. I guess they yeah. In the Federation had colonies, but they always presented Earth as just like all the problems were solved pretty much. That was hard to swallow.
Mm.
The other thing that they brought up a lot was the fact that like all medical maladies were just like curable with an injection, pretty much.
Oh, really? I
Like
wish.
someone had a headache, boom, headache gone. We might
Well, the
get there
thing is,
someday.
like, how far is it into the future? I mean, we could have a cure for like
It's like okay,
cancer
it's like
by Star Trek
300
time.
years. It's like 300 years into the future. That's a long. I know that's and with
Do you reckon?
science being uh, exponentially like getting better. That's I guess that's possible. But they like there was like
Yeah,
no cancer, no like STDs, no nothing. Like I think there are even points where they're like, "Oh, you're like depression fixed. You're no longer depressed." Like they like the
that's a
only
bit
medical
more hard to believe.
the only medical maladies I think they had issues were ones that came from off planet, like ones that were introduced by
Yeah,
alien species. So I don't
yeah,
know
that
if we'll
makes
ever get to
sense.
a point where like all human ailments are just fixable, especially because
Yeah, I
new
think.
things keep evolving, right?
I mean, if you think about it, like, how many years ago was it since we didn't even have a television? Yeah, the beginning of the 20th century, I think we had like some form of televisions, but it's not that long ago in terms of history. And now think how far we've come, let alone 300 years time. Holy shit! I mean, I can't even begin to imagine. I mean, I hope medical stuff advances, but yeah, I think depression and stuff like that's like impossible to cure. In terms of like, yeah, here's an injection and you won't be depressed anymore. That's scary. But I would
Yeah,
have hoped cancer and stuff like that would have like some amazing developments, like
I mean,
sort of AIDS has.
I would rather them like take care of like starvation and actually like eliminate shitty food, and I think that would solve a lot of problems, like ailments to
Mm.
begin with, as it is. Um, but people are who they are. I don't. Without eugenics, I don't think that's ever really going to happen. People will always want to have their vices. Um, and I let's not go into eugenics. That's yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Utopia though.
What are they saying in the comments?
Just a lot of hellos.
More people joining.
Yeah, if we didn't address environmental issues, we would not have a good future. Yeah, it's true. I mean, the thing is, Earth is going to be fine without us. Like we're not saving the planet, we're saving ourselves. The Earth will be fine. It'll deal. The
Do
Earth
you
will
reckon?
the Earth will be here for billions more years till the sun
Mm,
explodes, right? Um, I think the sun's going to explode in
yeah.
another 4 billion years or something. I think the human race is going to be gone by then, or at least
In
be,
terms of
or at least
colonization?
have left the. If we haven't destroyed ourselves, we will have left the solar system in the next 1,000 years. I'm gonna
Oh man.
guess.
Here's a question for you. Would you, if you could like choose to edit your like year of birth, would you? Like still with your family and friends intact, like so you would still have met the same people in that
Oh
futuristic
man,
timeline, but
I mean, I'm
would
someone
you have
who
chose
always, yeah, I'm always someone who says like the present is the best time to be alive. We don't know what's going to come, but like I'm certainly more happy I'm alive now than being alive 30 years ago, just because
mm,
of technological, medical, social advancements. I mean, sure, there's some more drawbacks now, but I think the world we live in is objectively better than it used to be, and I think that's kind of the case, decade by decade basis, as humans make progress scientifically. Um, yeah,
mm,
it's hard to say. Like the scope of humanity is so huge, though. I guess I can say, like looking at it from a point of just being like a Canadian where I live. Yeah, I'm glad I'm alive now and not 50 years ago. Um, because I think if I were alive 50 years ago, I'd probably just wonder what I'd be doing. I don't think I'd be doing what I do. I certainly wouldn't have like this podcast going. I wouldn't be recording from home.
you could have a ham radio.
I would probably have a ham radio that doesn't bring in any income, but I'd have a good time. Maybe I'd be like a half decent radio host. I don't know. But I wouldn't have we wouldn't have this thing that connects like all of us together the way it does. Um, but I'm not a big fan of hypotheticals anyway.
Mm.
So the human race would have evolved by then. I don't know if the human race is going to keep evolving physically,
Like 1,000
because
years isn't enough for evolution, is it?
it's not enough time. Maybe in hundreds of thousands we will evolve. But the thing is,
Mm.
evolution necessitates change because of survival. But we now survive for very different reasons, right?
It's also interesting how we just, well, compared to how many years ago now, we just all sit down at desks. I mean, do you reckon we're going to evolve like with technology only getting worse? I mean, just not, I don't know. I mean, plenty of people are active for sure, but like think about the human population now with technology. I don't know. Do you reckon technology is going to make a change on our bodies? Just texting, I guess, or sitting down at desks and typing. I don't know. Because
It's
think about
weird
it, like we
because
weren't designed to do this primitively. That's why you get
no,
repetitive strain injuries and
we're
stuff. Like,
we're meant to walk and search like tens of kilometers daily, and
mm,
search for, when you look at other mammals or even primates, like they spend most of their day just looking for food and eating. That's what
yeah,
consumes them. And since we don't have to worry about that anymore, I feel like that's what's allowed our brains to evolve. I think a lot is because we don't need to
that's
devote
true.
so many resources to the physical. We can devote many more resources to the cognitive. Um, yeah, it's hard. I'm no evolutionary biologist, but I think the evolution of the human race is going to look very different in the next 100,000 years than it was the previous 100,000. Like it's going to be very much more cerebral, much more social evolution. Um, I don't think there's going to be much physical evolution because there doesn't really need to be. Like you can skate through life now, being an idiot, and having a lot of things provided for you. Sure, you may not be
Mm,
ultimately happy, but you can still procreate with some other idiot, and
mm.
there you go. Your biological imperative is accomplished.
Oh, man, everyone keeps going mental about the Nintendo Switch. I want to play it, but I can't.
Do you have it?
Oh
I
no, I
mean,
mean
like,
I couldn't even play it if I wanted to, you know.
oh yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
But like everyone's going crazy for it. Like it's the new Zelda game. I mean, as we've sort of said before, I'm not. Even if I was gaming today, I was sort of getting out of gaming anyway. But Nintendo Switch, it definitely. I do like Nintendo's games. Like a newbie sort of way of looking at the industry, more fun and innocent, rather than just Call of Duty this and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of fun, I suppose. If
it's more like family friendly, I guess.
More family friendly, a bit more easygoing. By the way, if you're hearing this knocking, I apologize. They're renovating not only the apartment above me, but the apartment beside me, and then there's another apartment down the hall they're renovating. So
I think I had like 3 knocks.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. As soon as it hit like 8 a.m. this morning, they were going at it. And I was like, oh man, I hope they're at least like somewhat quiet for the podcast. And they have been actually pretty quiet for the last hour or so. But now I think they're just putting tile in or something. I don't know. I'm doing good, Gerjo. I'm sorry. How are you doing? Welcome to the podcast. We're 45 minutes in. We'll probably wrap this up in the next few minutes. But I'm glad we were able to do this. I mean, it's good catching up. I saw you're now doing.
I like doing it live.
Yeah, live is great. I saw you're doing more. You're doing some more reaction videos now on your channel.
Yeah, I mean, reactions kind of always used to make me cringe a bit, but more people asked for them. But then I thought, at the same time, like I'm subscribed to a couple of people who make videos like I do, and then I do kind of like seeing them watch the trailer. I don't know why. It's like seeing their opinion, I guess, afterwards. So, but yeah, I just did it because of demand, I guess.
Some people are genuinely fun to watch. Like there are a few people. Yeah, I mean, the whole reaction thing was a big talking point. Remember a couple years ago on YouTube when you had all those reaction channels just blowing up, but they wouldn't actually like have anything to add. They would just kind of watch it.
Yeah, they just don't talk at the end of it. It's truly just a, hey guys, new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer out. Okay, sit here, watch it. Okay, thanks for my $500.
But I'd say still some of my favorite reactions to watch are like H3H3, like iDubbbz.
Oh yeah. I've only just started watching H3H3, by the way, and I know this is kind of off topic, but I've only just found out about that whole lawsuit stuff, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. And to answer your question, Asakura, I will not react to that. Hell no. I know what that shit is. I'm not watching that.
I have no idea what it is.
But yeah, don't Google it. Please don't. I'm going to save you a lot of nightmares. Yeah, H3H3, I just love his reactions. And actually PewDiePie, because I know he's like exaggerating and he just kind of goes off, but he's a funny guy. And he says ridiculous things sometimes. And I don't care what you think, guys. I enjoy his Nazi jokes sometimes, I think.
Oh yeah, me too.
I think that shit's funny. Ridiculous. You just have to take it into context, you know. Don't take it out of context. Context
most
matters.
Ridiculous thing ever.
Oh, we could do an entire podcast about that whole issue with the WSJ and. Oh, okay. Well, they're really starting to go at it here, so let's wrap it up there. Do you have anything else you want to say before we I click the stop streaming button?
I don't think so. Thanks for everyone for tuning in, I guess.
Eat your broccoli, kids. Listen to your parents. Be nice to people.
Evolve.
Right. Evolve in good ways. Don't evolve and don't devolve. Don't evolve. Be good. Don't be bad. Being bad is bad. Being good is good. Okay. All right. See you guys. Take care.